Greg Andrick here, bringing you another Business Freedom Conversation newsletter, number 22. We got a really interesting newsletter. They're all interesting, but this one's got some really interesting stuff. We start off with Musk versus Zuckerberg. They're talking about doing a cage match. These people are the two made the most money last year. Their net worth went up 96.6 billion for Musk and 58 billion for Zuckerberg, and they can't get along, and they're talking about having their rivalry be a cage match, and it's really starting to turn out to be one around philosophical differences. Got a cool video. Take a look at that. You'll learn some interesting stuff. The next thing is Americans aren't spending like they used to. Well, at the start of the year, Americans had 5.5 trillion in savings. That's more than 3 times what they had at the beginning of the pandemic. Americans had 1.5 trillion in savings at the end of 2019. And Americans, that spending, because we gave them all that money, causing all that inflation, undermining the banks, all this kind of stuff, Americans have been spending it. We like to spend. But guess what? This last month, all that's grinding to a halt. So another interesting video with some interesting facts. Take a look at it, see how it affects your business. Then the next one is that private equity companies are having difficulty hiring qualified CFOs, particularly CFOs that know how to manage and survive in a high interest rate environment. Well, that last really high interest rate environment was more than 30 years ago, so they're having a hard time since the average tenure or average work experience of a CFO is less than 10 years. Then the other one is one that's critically important to all of you out there is quiet quitters make up 50% of the workforce. But even worse than the 50%, you got 20% of them out there that are actively disengaged. Take a look at the video to see what that means and what you need to do about it, and realize that only 33% of your employees are really working. So take a look at the newsletter. And last but not least, we're having another live stream on Wednesday, July 12th at noon Pacific. I think you're going to find it really interesting and really good. It's about thriving, not only surviving, but thriving in this high inflation, stagnant economy. You're going to find a lot of tips that you're going to be able to employ and pretty much make more money like the big boys. I mean, Walmart's profit is up 76%. Think about how huge that is. You can do that too. Come to the live stream, find out how you can do that. So this is Greg Andrick, Business Freedom Conversation Newsletter number 22. We're going to catch you on the next one.